Hi everyone, this is Bethany Ligon from Apache Junction Unified School District, and I'm here with Melissa Martinez, and we have just a couple of really quick things to show you that you can be using with your Google Apps for Education accounts, and have some student examples too. So I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Melissa and have her get started. So Melissa, what do you got for us?
All right. I am going to show you how I use Google Draw to create graphic organizers, and also some other teachers, how they're using it on our campus. So let me screen share. All right. So I use Google Draw to create graphic organizers for my kids to fill out, and then I upload them to Google Classroom. And one of their favorite ones to do is a Venn diagram. I have to find it. Oh, there it is. So I just used the circles, and I made, you can make your Google Draw template a little bit bigger by using that little thing right there. And so they then will read, right now we're doing natural disasters with erosion, and so they'll read a document that I have for them in Google Classroom, and then they can type on the Venn diagrams, and then they just send it to me. And they love typing on graphic organizers. And then another one that we made was, we're working on Author's Point right now. And so I made this one for them to use for like main idea and details. And I just used the shapes to create shapes. And then I added a text box for them to type. And then I just shared it all on Google Classroom for them to use. And that is how I use it. One of our 5th grade teachers, Lauren Stewart, she she'll put in graphics, and then she'll have them label the planets, and then they have to type in characteristics of those graphics, which are really cool. She did that for planets, and then she did one for a colonies quiz. And then the other group who said I could share something was 3rd grade. They create their weekly newsletter in Google Draw. And so it's all nice, and then they can just edit it by clicking the edit button. And then they just edit what they're learning. And then they actually send it to parents through email. So it's all nice and neat for them on the computer. And so that was my technology tip for today.
That's really cool. I especially like the newsletter idea for teachers to communicate with the parents, and it just gives there's a simple template that just needs to be modified, every week or how often they send that out. So I think that's a really neat use of that particular app. So thank you for sharing that, and thank you for the teachers for letting Melissa show off your work. So. I'm going to share a use for Google Docs that it was kind of like a why didn't I think about that type of deal. And so hopefully this will inspire some of you to try something different with Google Docs. I'm really excited that teachers are using Google Classroom, and I've starting to see how teachers are loading multiple links within an assignment. And so students will have like 5 different links that they'll need to go to complete a task or whatever. And that can kind of, I'm noticing, get a little bit cumbersome on Google Classroom. So what I found, and let me show you, is a way that teachers can put all the links that they want their students to visit to in one Google Doc, and then just share that doc with their students through Classroom. And so this was one that I found online. And it is, as you can see, there's just 2 columns on the table, and here are all the links where students would go to visit and do whatever task it is that their teacher wanted to do them. So Melissa, can you see this okay?
I can.
Okay. All right. So because I can't click on any of the links, which is unfortunate. But so teachers can put links to videos. Again, it doesn't have to be a YouTube video, but if you have another video source that you want students to visit to, you can link that up. And then this teacher has some an accountability piece so that once the students watch the video, then they have to share their thinking on the right-hand column. And then this on the left-hand column is a blog post that students had to go visit. And then again, there's an accountability piece. This thing link is really cool. Again, it gives students additional things to explore online. And I wish I could click on this to show you, but this would be like a class-wide document. So students would click on this, and then they put their name, and they have to add a row to the data table. Then they put their name, and they have to include something that they learned about avalanches. And what I like what this teacher did is you can't write something that someone else already wrote about. You have to come up with something new. And so this becomes like a class, a cumulative thing for the class to go back and look at all the different details and things that people are learning. And so again, another link through BlendSpace, and on the right-hand side, the link, it goes to a Google form. So this particular teacher wanted students to vote, but you could put in like a check for comprehension Google form where students can, show what they have learned. And then finally, the teacher just took a picture of the textbook, and students had to read that, and then they had to answer a question about what they read from the textbook pages. So they still had access to a textbook, where the teacher did, but the students may not have, but the students could still read the information out of the text. And so that might be an interesting way to, even if you're practicing like text features and having students identify those, or how does that help their understanding. And I see this in pretty much any content subject area where students are learning, something new, whether it be, this isn't a science example, but I mean, it could be math, it could be social studies, it could be even language arts, an extension of what you're reading or writing about in that class. And I see it being used, all the way down to second grade and all the way up through seniors in high school. It's something that is, I think, a usable way of getting information to students, and still keeping them accountable for what they're learning. So again, it was one of those things where I saw it and I was like, I should have thought of this, but I never did. So hopefully it will be something that teachers in our district will consider doing and making your own. So that's all I have, and we just wanted to keep this nice and short for you all. And so if you have any questions about either the Google Draw, you can contact Melissa, or if you have questions about the multi-text document that I just shared, you can get a hold of me. And otherwise, we just hope you have a great day. So thanks for watching. Take care, everyone. Bye.